All right, everybody, Bryce here coming at you with yet another real quick crypto market update. And now today, there was a lot of wild things going on. Namely, a huge hack. I think so far the hack is totaling at about $320 million worth of wrapped Ethereum. So I don't want to dive too much into the complexities of the hack, but there was a cross-chain bridge, basically a bridge that was allowing people to send coins between Ethereum and Solana and Terra Luna, right? So a bridge called the Wormhole was hacked, and there's about I think it got totaled at about $350 or so million worth of this wrapped form of Ethereum that was hacked. And so again, the markets kind of sold off as this was happening. You guys saw the markets sold off a little bit, and there's been some volatility. And I think what kind of is coming out of the postmortem here is the two of the largest trading funds in crypto, Alameda Research as well as Jump Crypto. Okay, these are two firms that are fully backing this kind of the repayment of this hack to make sure that everybody's made whole. And so, of course, crypto's always got crazy stuff going on, but this was one of the largest hacks that I've ever seen, right? I mean, there's been the parity hack happened in 2017 on Ethereum for like 150 million bucks. The Bitfinex hack happened. The Mt. Gox hack was a lot larger in scale. So we've seen a lot of these, but I wanted to kind of highlight it today because I want to remind everybody that, crypto and these tokens, right, there's still a tremendous amount of risk, right? So don't think that just because, you're holding your favorite coin or you're on this platform that's been, super vetted, like at the end of the day, there's still amazing opportunities and there's still amazing reward because there is such high risk, right? Remember, risk and reward is a ratio. It's the same coin, right? It's two different sides of the same coin, risk and reward. Higher the risk, higher the reward. And so that's kind of like one of the big things that's kind of going on right now. You're going to see some volatility as this kind of hack starts to, get wrapped up, basically, as the pools that were drained are made whole, everything, kind of the dust settles. But regardless, I think what we saw was basically, these massive hedge funds, right? Jump Crypto and Alameda, as they're coming in and they're backing this protocol and saying, we're going to make everybody whole. That gives me a lot of bullishness, right? That gives me a lot of excitement for where this market's going because it's something worth saving, right? It's something worth saving. And smart money, big money, is putting their money down and saying, hey, there was a technical glitch, basically, it wasn't a technical. It was a bug that was exploited by a black hat hacker, right? A black hat hacker is somebody who is a malicious person, right? There's white hat hackers who go and they go and basically look at bugs and then they tell the team. They're like, hey, there's a bug. You got to fix it, and then they'll earn a bounty. So this was a bad guy who's draining this money and he's probably washing it right somewhere. So it's horrible what's happening, but at the end of the day, the fact that there are these large institutional players that are saying, hey, we're going to back it. We're going to make sure that at the end of the day, people are made whole. This is bad. It instills into me a little bit of trust in the ecosystem and a little bit more trust in the ecosystem every day, right? As I see more of this stuff, I'm like, man, this is too big to fail. This isn't going anywhere. And now the other thing that I kind of wanted to just end everything on was this concept of Bitcoin's momentum, right? And so we're seeing a breakout actually in the RSI, the relative strength, on the daily chart. And so I think sometimes momentum can be a leading indicator. We're seeing, momentum start to break out on the daily, which means that there's a little bit of strength here that the bulls might be able to carry through. And so the other thing in terms of momentum was a MACD, right? The moving average, convergence, divergence. On the daily chart using the 9-day and the 26-day averages. And we're seeing what I think is going to be a bullish crossover here in the near term. And the reason why I think that's going to happen is because we are so oversold on the MACD. And it looks like it's starting to reverse, right? It looks like there's about to be a little moving average crossover. So what that tends to imply is that the bears are just losing strength, right? They're still in control, right? The trend is still down in the near term, as we've been correcting since, November 8th or something, right? So we've been in the downtrend, and the bears have had the momentum, and they still have the edge, but they're losing momentum. And that's key, right? You want to pay attention to where they start to lose momentum. And so we're going to see what price action kind of does. I think Bitcoin's at a great price level right here around $36,000. I mean, I didn't think we were going to get this low, right? A lot of you guys know I didn't think we were going to get this low. I thought 40K was going to hold. It didn't. We popped all the way down to like 33K, but now it looks like we found a lot of support. And what's interesting is some of the tech stocks are really rallying, right? You saw Apple, you saw Microsoft, Google. I mean, these things had monster weeks. And that's pretty bullish actually for crypto, because remember, crypto's typically pretty correlated with like tech stocks generally. Now, Facebook had a really bad earnings. I mean, go look at that Facebook chart. My God, that's like the biggest gap down I've ever seen. And they just had a really terrible earnings. But a lot of the tech companies that make up the NASDAQ, right, like they are moving higher. And so that tends to, have a strong correlation. And we should expect, Bitcoin to, move in tandem with those. As a lot of the fears in the market are starting to leave, right? Like we had the Federal Reserve, has been talking about raising interest rates for months, and they haven't yet. But the market has already corrected so much, right? Whoa, really sunny. Let me walk this way. The market has already corrected so much in anticipation of these rates that, hey, the Fed did its job, right? Like it kind of reined in inflation a little bit. And plus, as the markets crash, people don't feel as excited to go spend, right? So you cool demand off that way. So they might not even need to raise rates immediately. And like if the Fed starts to turn a little bit dovish, right, instead of their hawkish stance, I think markets are going to rally on that news. So there's good things that are out there, but there's also bad things. So that's why we're in this range-bound, weirdish market right now. You have hacks. It was funny. I was talking to one of our analysts, and he was mentioning he's like, this hack here is it's a sign that like we're getting close to the bottom, right? Because that's max pain, right? Like when people are losing money, like that's one of the signs of the four horsemen of the bear market. He said, he goes, that's one. He goes, the other one is like the unraveling of a protocol that everybody believed in. That kind of like what happened with Ohm. That thing unraveled. Then he said the other horseman was of the bear market was a rug, a huge rug. That happened with Time Wonderland, basically. A lot of liquidity got drained, and there was just chaos there. He goes, the fourth and final horseman of the bear market is going to be, just brutal, some type of regulation from the U.S. or from some country. And it's funny because then, Joe Biden puts out an executive. Well, it's an announcement of an announcement, right? He put out an announcement that he's like, yeah, well, we're gonna be putting out an executive action or order on Bitcoin because it has implications for America's national security. And so I was talking to him about that. He's like, yep, that could be the fourth horseman, which will cause like the final just max pain move to the downside, and then eventually resolve to the long-term uptrend that Bitcoin's been on for 13 years. There's just been a lot of volatility. So this was a long one. This was a lot going on. But I think the important message is, we're in this range-bound market where, bearish momentum is starting to die, but it's still present. And you got to keep yourself safe, right? You got to put your risk management as your number one priority, because we could very well see, a dip back down to 33 or 32K. But we could just as easily see a rip back up to 42,000 bucks per coin, per Bitcoin. So I think we're just in a range, and you don't need to go punting longs, and you don't need to go like ultra short or ultra long and leverage, any of that stuff. It's just not a very clear environment for the trend. So staying safe, dollar cost averaging into those fundamentally strong cryptos that you know, that you love, that you've been researching, all that good stuff. Okay, there's lots of opportunity when liquidity is dried up. There's lots of opportunity when there's fear in the air. There's lots of opportunity when there's confusion and volatility. So don't get scared out. This is not the time to be fearful. Fortune favors the bold. Have yourselves a good week, and we'll be here trading the markets with you. All right. So now, if you're not already subscribed to a service which is going to get you crypto trade alerts, a community of crypto investors and traders, Crypto 101 University video course with over, hours and hours and hours of content, okay? Teaching you guys how to trade, teaching you guys how to select the best coins, keeping things secure, right? Keeping things on the right wallets. That's super important. So you don't even fall prone to some of the hacks that we just talked about in today's market update. So all that stuff is available to you for just $1 for a 2-week trial. So that's right. So if you click that button below, that orange button, you can subscribe to everything we just talked about and so much more. $1 2-week trial, and we'll see you there.